What's up, y'all? Welcome to the NBA Weekly Postgame. This is where we share our views on the latest trending topics within the NBA. My name is Sha.
And I'm Evay, and we have a lot to talk about.
All right, so let's get started.
So as you know, we're always on Twitter. We love the NBA Twitter streets. And so as we're scrolling through Twitter, we find things that are interesting that we want to bring to you guys just to kind of talk about it and get your take on it. So for this week, we found a post from HoopsHype. And if you look at this post, you'll see that it's asking us to build your $15 team of the century. And on this particular post, there are several players that stem from range $5 to $1. And what's so cool about this particular post is that if you look at the players that are listed and you check out the jerseys that they are wearing, I believe this post is really telling you that these players were at their peak at this time when they played for these teams, and you use that time to create your team of the century. So we're going to do that for this video. Let's get into it.
Okay, cool. So for the $5 range, I had a hard time selecting from Steph Curry, Kobe Bean Bryant, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, and Shaquille O'Neal. Oh, I had the toughest time.
You know what, though? Because if you think about it, once you select that first, of course you want someone from the $5 tier. I mean, who wouldn't want someone from the $5 tier? Mm-hmm. And it was hard for me because once I selected that person, I was like, well, then how much money I got left? Then you're trying to play with it because there's a couple of people on this particular post that I'm like, I would love to build a team, with. I knew for a fact when I saw this that Kobe Bryant will be part of my team regardless. Yeah. So anybody else that I select, I'm going to be building around him. Mm-hmm. So I already knew that he was going to be my first choice. Yeah. And that's who I picked. So he is number one on my squad that will be on any team, any variation of how I select any player on this particular post. He's going to be the first one.
Absolutely. And that's what I was thinking too. Now, what I thought too was really interesting is they got Shaquille O'Neal in his Laker jersey and LeBron in the Cavs, right? Yeah. So I'm like, wow, LeBron, he was better when he played for Cleveland. He was much younger, brought their first championship, but it still wasn't enough for me to select him. I chose Kobe Bryant for my $5 range.
Yes, Kobe was my first choice. I didn't even, when I saw it, I was like, oh, Kobe. Like, who else is on? And then I said, oh, who else is listed? That's for me. So Kobe was number one for me. So I have Kobe on my list, $5, right? Uh-huh. And then I said, all right, okay, so now how much money I got left? $10. Now let me see how I can create a team. Because really at the end of the day, whoever else I put on this team, if they're not winning, Kobe Bryant's going to take over. I mean, so it was just like, you guys, anybody else that's going to be on a team that Kobe Bryant is leading, they're going to be supplemental players. So I said, all right. So I kind of felt a little bit relief when it came to selecting my other players. Okay. So the next person that I selected, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go because I don't have that much money. Now, I'm not saying that this particular player should be worth $1, but since they're on this $1 tier, I'm going to select them. And I put Jason Kidd.
Okay.
I was just like, I was torn between Jason Kidd for $1 and Chris Paul for $4. I was struggling with that. So I had to do some rearranging.
Okay.
So I ended up with Jason Kidd.
All right. So the next person I selected for $4, I mean, I went all in. I selected Kevin Durant because he's wearing the OKC jersey. It was when I was his biggest fan when he played for OKC. But I didn't want to select Dwight Howard, even though they have him in his Orlando jersey. And CP3 in Los Angeles when he was really good then too.
Yeah. No, I agree. So then my next choice, I said, all right, now who else can I select? Because I know I need someone that can shoot the ball really, really well. So then I went to the $3 tier. And I was like, from the $3 tier, who can I select? And I picked James Harden.
Oh my goodness.
I did. I was like, I'm just going to give him a chance because at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant is going to always take over.
Don't take over the game. Wait a minute. Now, I find this interesting because you are a Kawhi Leonard fan and he's also on the $3 tier. Yeah. And you chose Harden over Kawhi. Why? Because of his Spurs jersey that he's in?
No, because of Harden's Rockets jersey and his shooting ability from the
Okay.
3-point range and how dominant it was at a certain period of time when he was with the Houston Rockets. That's why I
Okay.
chose him. I was looking
Okay.
for shooting. If I was looking for defense for this particular roster, I would choose Kawhi Leonard, but not for what I wanted to create for this particular team of the century.
Okay.
So
All
James
right.
Harden.
All right, cool. So for my $3 tier, I reviewed the players and I'm like, look, I'm not picking Steve Nash because I wasn't a really big fan of him back then. I like James Harden. Not a big fan of Kawhi, but I loved Kevin Garnett when he played for the Boston Celtics. Give me that grit and grime any day. So that's where I went. And then there's Marcus Gasol too, when he was with the Grizzlies, when he was a little heavier. He was pretty good then.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So then I went down. So then I go back up. So I didn't do mine in dollar order. I just kind of shifted based on the position I was thinking about. And so after I selected James Harden, then I went back up to the $4 tier and I said, you know what? There is no way I can leave KD off of anything that I put on, any team that I created. So I selected Kevin Durant for $4.
Ah, okay. Now, how much money do you have left at this point?
I have $2 left.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. So for my $2, I only have $3 left. So I went to the $2 tier and it was no question. Absolutely. Russell Westbrook was my pick for the $2 range. Wasn't even a question.
Okay, that's good. I didn't pick anybody from the $2 range. I wasn't interested in anybody from the $2 range. And I also question, why is Giannis Antetokounmpo on this list?
I'm not sure.
I don't understand it. I don't get it, but whoever created this probably thought he fit. I didn't think he fit at all. So then I said, all right, now I still am missing the position that I'm thinking about. And who can I now select? Because I didn't like anybody from the $2 tier. So I went back down to the $1 tier because I only had $2 left. And I selected Al Horford.
Okay.
For my final team, my final player on the team for this particular roster.
Wow. So I'm down to the dollar tier myself. And I reviewed it and I said, look, not going with Pau Gasol. Doesn't have enough grit and grind for me. I was torn between Paul Pierce and Allen Iverson. I needed a little point guard. So I'm going to go with AI for my $1 pick.
I thought about AI for my pick as well. But if I want this team to have championship experience and actually won a championship, that's what kind of led me to the kid, Jason Kidd, because he did at least do something in 2011 with the Dallas Mavericks. So that's why. I mean, if you wanted to flip a coin and it would have been Allen Iverson, I would have been okay with that too.
Yeah. Now, we talked about Giannis being on the list, but I don't see him. I don't see why he's on this list with some of these like greats. I don't know that he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm looking at a bunch of Hall of Famers on this list, but I'm wondering where Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter are. Shouldn't they have made the list?
Nobody considered Chris Webber. I mean, like what I am saying is this. Giannis not on this list. Now, if there was another list with maybe perhaps other players, maybe more current players, I would say, I guess. I don't know. He just seems out of place on this list.
Yeah.
Should he be on the list? Absolutely. But maybe not this one. With these set of players is where I question. And I think there are other players that could have actually been in that particular slot. Now, I think the $1 and $2 tier is kind of the dollar amount is disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful.
Like $1. But, at the end of the day, we're talking about trying to create this roster. And it's not easy with $15.
Can we talk about Anthony Davis on the $2 row and the jersey that he's wearing? Why is he wearing a Lakers jersey when he spent most of his career with the New Orleans Pelicans? That's kind of interesting.
I think he's wearing the Lakers jersey in this particular post because that's when he won his championship. But is that when he was at his peak? I don't know because he's been injured frequently. So I you know what? Honestly, I I actually question why he's even on this particular list.
He's kind of new age. He's kind of new age a little bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering whoever put this list together, are they a Lakers fan?
Oh. Well, how many Lakers do we have on here? I see Shaquille, Kobe, AD. Man, there's just those three.
Currently, we got
Dwight Howard came through, did a stint with the Lakers.
Yep. We got, of course, LeBron.
Pau Gasol. Yeah, I see what's going on here.
Maybe a little Lakers bias, but hey, you know what? I'm just curious. This is just discussion. You know, somebody can drop down in the comments and give us their take on it. But this is just where we are with ours. But yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have $1 left, and so I wanted to, since I got $1 left, I can create the 6th man of the year.
Oh, nice.
On my team. So if I wanted to create a 6th man on my team, since I got $1 left, I would, since I did not add Jason Kidd, since I did not add Allen Iverson to my initial list, I will put him on my roster as a 6th man. I'm not saying that he is a 6th man, but since I got $1 left over, I would add Allen Iverson to my team since I got $1 left.
Okay, nice. You know what? I cannot believe neither one of us selected Dwayne Wade.
I cannot. That's fine. It's good. I think if you wanted to have him on your team, you could. Who would you remove?
Nobody.
Oh,
because on a $4 tier, there's no way I'm stepping over Kevin Durant to get the Dwayne Wade. There's no way.
Yeah, no way. No way. So how would you play? What positions would you play your players in?
Positionless basketball.
Okay.
Sheer talent and grit and grime.
Okay.
And we win.
Okay. That's fair. I did mine more position.
Okay.
So I had Al Horford as a center forward, of course. And then I did Jason Kidd as a point guard. I considered Harden as a shooting guard because he currently plays that dual role, with the Nets right now. And then I put as a forward both Kobe and Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of how I piece my roster together. And now that I have, once I want to rest one of my players, I'll have Allen Iverson come off the bench.
Nice. Yeah. See, my current roster, I have 3 guards and just 2 bigs, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's how you put this together. That's all. There's some great players on here, and I wonder if they were playing right now, would they be playing 90s ball or would they be playing 2020 ball?
Well, the thing is, it depends on the referees, though. The referees were way more lenient. They allowed more physical play back then.
Yeah.
Some of these players, I don't know how they would, conform or change their game to accommodate today's referees in the way they want the games being played. It's kind of...
Yeah. And I can tell you right now, because sometimes when Dwight Howard is on the court, he frustrates the modern player. Because he is used to playing when it was more physical, and it's just not that way anymore, and that's fine. I have no qualms about that. I'm just saying it's just different. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's all we got. And until next time, goodbye.
See ya.